Hello everybody, I'm Ethan. I'm going to be your host for my new show, CWL Recap. This is a show about everything CWL and competitive Call of Duty for those who can't sit through 8 hours of streams for 3 nights of the week. For now, I'm the only person writing, hosting, filming, and editing the show. In the future, if we can gain some traction, I will try to get some guests on the show to discuss different things that are relevant at that time. Before we get to the show started, I need to make a few announcements. If you love Call of Duty esports and staying up to date, this is a great show for you. And if you would like to support it, I will leave a donation link in the description, as well as a link to a Patreon where you can pledge for as low as $1 a month. This money will go to bettering my video production, including a new camera since I'm only recording with a webcam currently, and a better green screen and lighting setup. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter where you can get updates on what I'm thinking, plus predictions for matches this week during the league. And finally, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button beside the sub button, and share this with everyone you know who loves competitive Call of Duty. Now let's get this show started. Welcome to the show. Our first topic today will be catching up on things that happened before the start of Season 2. With that being said, the first thing on our plate is Season 1 playoffs. In my honest opinion, I feel like this is one of the most entertaining events ever played, and so far the best in this game. If you missed anything, get ready to be blown away. Most of you already know the outcome, but I'm here to explain how we got there. Let's start with round 1 of the tournament. The first round matchups went as follows: Rise vs. United, Luminosity vs. Red Reserve, Optic Gaming vs. Envious, and FaZe Clan vs. Team Caliber. To start the tournament off hot, United once again took down who many believe to be the best team in the game. United also 3-0 Rise in Birmingham a week earlier after Methodist decided to talk a little smack on Twitter, replying to Clayster with, "Why would they hype up a 30-minute match?" And a 30-minute match is what we got in Birmingham. Coming back to the States, there was again talk of Methods and smack talk towards the United. This again comes back to bite them as they are on the losing end of a 30-minute series again. Game 1 started out as a very back and forth St. Marie hardpoint with United holding the lead for the entirety of the first rotation. From there, they never looked back, expanding lead upwards to 80 points. In the end, Rise couldn't take the map and United sealed the game 250 to 206.
Big kills going down by Gunless. He's able to find 3, make that all 4 down.
Oh my god, and you got
look at that.
Rise trying to get in. They don't have a lot of time to work with. There's only one player here
left. This will be the last player. I think that's it.
It's just on Looney. Looney's got to get it done. He's able to find the opening kill. He knows he has to get in, but there's the AR in the back. It's Arcades. The final ticks are here. The upset is...
Moving on to map 2. These two teams came back to St. Marie for S&D. Falling behind 3-5 in map 2 with streaks on Methods, Rise were able to steal one more round before Sealy clutched the final round, and Rise fell 0-2 despite another good game out of Gunless.
A lot of time to work with on both ends. Will Method see him? Doesn't look like he knows. If they're a man down inside the site, they're going to start that.
That is
great. Trading right there. Able to find Pristini. The Method's Gunless find those something. Well, Gunless finds Pristini. That's a first blood for them.
Round. What a huge map right now. E-United, the underdogs, turmoil all year, and they are a round away from a 2-0 advantage in this best of 5 over what many consider the best team in the game, and that's a big part of it. And Clayster in a very tough spot, but he did get one.
Glybomb come in. Is he going to see Silly? Doesn't look like it. He's still alive. Where's the trade, though? There we go. The trade has to be in. Oh my god.
To a final one.
Gunless.
Silly able to win it. One player left. It's going to be Methods. He's got to go for it. This is all for United. It's halfway there. It's halfway there. He saw his feet. There's the kill.
The final map was Flag Tower CTF. Despite E-United starting slow in the first half, Pristini made a clutch save that ignited E-United, propelling them to a 2-1 lead going into the second half. The entire second half, E-United had Rise's backs against the wall and never looked back, taking the map 4-1 in the series 3-0.
Go, boys. Red pillar, dead. Fucking go, boys. Go fast. Pull circle, come on.
Let's go, baby.
I'm going for refill.
That's huge. You're going on a great story about E-United.
Yeah, right.
3 go down. TJ pulls that. 3 go down. Gunless, the last guy left, almost finds his second, but that's going to be the...
Dagger in the first best of 5. And the mortars drop in the back. Can't connect. Pristini's here. Pristini's chasing it. There's the return. Oh, there he gets it. A team that many thought might need a team change. A team that we did not expect to see the same roster come stage 2.
The next matchup to review was Luminosity versus Red Reserve. This was a much closer matchup that ended in a 3-2 victory for Luminosity. In this series, Red started off hot with a win on Valk hardpoint 250 to 133, with Zero playing like an absolute animal.
How How many teams did Red Reserve beat there? Octane pulling off nice the first 10 points, but Octane and Mountain now as Red Reserve. Radiant's gonna find one. He could find the second with the pre-fire. Will do as Slack goes down. Look at the rotation. Again, this is where Red Reserve, they dominated. Radiant single-handedly holding it. One out, Joe, Josh adding to the mix, answered back by Cab, but the points going only in Red Reserve's favor on surely. There's a break coming.
So smart. Josh, you are almost a genius. I'm not sure if you...
In map 2, Red continue to roll through LG as they take away a 6-2 round count London Docks S&D, with Rated taking his turn being an animal on the sticks.
Joe Standard, that's going to be a double. Support, Rated's going to spot him, and John does wonderfully to stay alive. Cat now goes in for the trade, but Rated picks up a double. Buy one, get one free if you will.
Much of a choice. He's still... Oh my goodness.
Good read.
I was going to say he sits there. He's going to get picked apart. Raid's going to find another double 8 and 2 fair play.
Now, it's basically just Europe all behind as Josh pushes through. That's a double looking for the triple as well.
Nothing on the stat, but just staying alive is going to just reduce that time a little bit more. Raid they on slacked all to do it, and Zero. He just needs to play the time, Ben. You know as well as I do.
At this point, people were thinking that maybe LG wasn't showing up this event, but of course they had to make it interesting. Map 3 is Arms Forest CTF with LG's backs against the wall. The first half of the CTF was very back and forth with both teams trading flag caps. The second half was much more eventful, with LG ending up on top 3-4 with the last second flag cap and the start of a reverse sweep.
Big from Jump, that really is. You might not think it, but he's going to be taken down. It's the time that they're both going to go down. This is bad news for Red Reserve, and the investment there, but Josh goes huge. He just needs to stay alive. He will lose the gunfight, but now he has the support. It's a 2v1 as it's all up to Octane. We know what Sam could do, of course, with that assault rifle, but you've got to favor him. Red Reserve, they're going to jump this one home, and it's going to be 2-1.
Left to make a decision. Does he track back? Does he at least try and get the fire alley cut? If he can just slow down this flag, give his teammates a little bit of time to OE, that's huge, and that's exactly what he does.
He's going to be still going. It's Cap. We'll find another, and it's all tied up, baby. We're going.
See if you can bait out those streaks, and with 3 players falling and Joe with flag, this could be the moment. Slack versus Joe, huge 1v1. Slack takes it.
Towards, of course, the middle. We are going to see Josh run away. The stun isn't going to capitalize, and we do still have streaks. It's invested by the pilot coming down. For me, I feel like they should be safe, but
the flag is still good. This one home for Red Reserve. Pre-fire falls. Now it's Josh. He manages to cap it. It's a 3-2 game to Red Reserve, a minute and a half, but now LG, they're going for a counter cap.
Ben, this is the best Forest CTF I've ever to witness.
It's a
Back to base. Nice. Come on. Yeah. Broken then. He's on our flag.
We're good. Just get us wave and kill. I'll wait for mid. Look at our mid.
Get our eyes.
And with 5 seconds left, Phil, LG clutch.
Map 4 is London Docks Hardpoint. LG came out very hot, outscoring Red 80 points to 3 in the first 2 hills. LG never looked back after the hot start, with Slack and JCab going off with 30 bombs, while Red struggled to score 30 points in the hill, as LG take the map 250 to 55.
It's so far-fetched almost to think that Luminosity have all the slaying power.
At this point, finally, Cap breaks through his 34th kill of the game, gets hill control. Meanwhile, the rest of his team just slaying around the outside. And it's worth mentioning, you know, we talked about the streaks early, but what is that?
The Game 5 was Texas S&D, a map that you would typically say was in favor of Red. But although momentum was in LG's hands by now, this map was very back and forth, with Slack starting off hot once again, and LG finally stealing the map on a round 11 to complete the reverse sweep.
Worst timing he's ever had in his career, finds the trade. Slack forced to check bomb, no one on it, 22 seconds left.
And he's going to be grenaded. That's it.
Goes in Zero's hands, and Rated falls 0-1v4. Eat your heart out. If you're going to clutch this, you're tagged up.
Series number 3 for day 1 of the playoffs was Optic Gaming versus Envious. Optic finally started to show some life this event, and they started off by getting a 3-1 series win over Envious. Map 1 was the London Docks Hardpoint. Optic came out hot in the hardpoint and continued to roll through Envy on the backs of the duo of Scump and Krim for the rest of the game. Optic ended up steamrolling through map 1 with the 250 to 104 victory, looking like the Optic of old.
Oh, the pinch though. The pinch is on from Karma. Yeah, he goes through the back. This is terrible. He finds 3. There's just the hill. Yeah, they're going to invest everything to try and win on this hill. Formal. He's going to find Slasher. He finds some streaks. Nice shots right there. Well, Temp takes down his teammate. Yeah, I think that's it, maybe. I think game number 1 goes to Optic.
They've struggled at barrel building in the past.
Map 2 stayed on London Docks for S&D. Optic continued to play well at the start of the map 2, with a 1v2 clutch from both Formal and Krim in different rounds. Optic continued their dominance in S&D and take the map 6-0.
Temp's the next man up. 1 versus 1. It goes to Formal. Duo push through lights. They let you get really aggressive on this B side. As they distract, it's Krim that's able to push up. What a play here from Envy on the retake. Nice shots from Krim. Another 1 versus 1.
I mean, what is he trying to do here? You're gonna challenge that? Even if Scum gets taken down, look, he's just saying, buy time, I'm here. I'm gonna find Slasher. Finds him through the grenade smoke. Temp, he's able to find a couple, but yep, there we go.
Going into map 3, it seemed as if there was no hope for Envy in map 3, which was again London Dogs for the 3rd time in a row. The start of the map 3 showed Optic continue their control, but Envy finally break Optic's control and get the first points of the CTF. Optic ended up fighting back in the first half, but it wasn't enough, and Envy held the lead 3-2 going in the second side. Going into the second half, Optic get a perfect break off with 2 caps in less than a minute to take them back to lead. Looking like Envy might be done with the stalemate situation, Classic plays Hero to return the flag in extra time to let Hook get the tying score in. Envy get a very good opening break that puts the cap in over 1 in a little under a minute, and Optic are unable to score, and Envy take map number 3, keeping them alive for another map.
It might be tied right after this. Yeah, there we go. 4 dead. Slasher not able to win.
Coming off a respawn, there may be a rally opportunity here. And Scump's going to get the touch. Scump gets back in the barrel. And Envy get...
Oh, I saw the flag go down. I was like, uh-oh, what happened there?
Oh, they've already been in control of this series.
We'll see, though. Envy, though, it's their turn to attack. They're getting control of fire. That's 3 down. Nice shots right there from Temp. Formerly, he's able to find 2. Make it 3. Nice shots on the shot.
Trying to find him, but Karma tucks away to a safe corner, but Slasher able to get him with a pistol. There's still another player. Scump trades it out. Classic in there. There's the return. This should be the tie. It is in, and we're headed to OT.
Can they get this flag out? It looks like they're finally able to. They should score with about, what, a minute on the clock. That is still a lot of time for Optic.
Oh, Envy.
That could have been 30 seconds.
It could have been. It could have been one of those scores. Finally, after getting blown out in our 2 opening maps, they bring it back. They clutch.
The final map was Valk Hardpoint. Optic again showed that they're one of the best hardpoint teams in the game by starting off hot with a 79-3 lead. Optic continues to dominate, and Envy didn't start to pick it up until Optic had 200 points, and by that time the game was already over, and Optic took the final map 250-151 in a series that should have been a 3-0.
I mean, you have one guy in ventilation room, you have Slasher in the window.
You need to be the Envy coach.
Yeah, I mean,
while you're casting somehow. There we go. Okay, all right. Classic getting towards some streaks. He's 15-7, but look at the Classic in mid-street. Temp hitting from the back, but he's not able to take it. Optic over the 150-point mark and showing no signs of slowing down here at Smokestacks. It's been a slaughter. Karma next one up. He wins his one-on-one. This is a blowout. This is just like the game 1. First kill to Slasher. Time ticking to Optic Gaming. Here comes the push. It's Slasher from the backside. Everybody else is going to drop. Everybody else is going to drop, and there it is. That may be the final necessary kill here for Optic. Only 5 more points needed. They're finding the kills out front. The trades go to Optic Gaming. The series.
The final matchup of day 1 was FaZe Clan versus Team Caliber. Up to this point, TK seemed to have the upper hand on FaZe every time they played, and this turned true once again as TK took a very close 3-1 map count. Map 1 was the London Dogs hardpoint, and in typical FaZe Clan fashion, they started off very slow with TK taking a lead as big as over 1 minute of time. As FaZe warmed up, the game became very back and forth until the game ended with FaZe winning a 250-245 game, with Zuma having almost 100 interactions on the map.
I think this could be... We talk about swing maps and down to those last couple of points really do give you the edge. Talking of the edge, key. Glide bomb, fighter pilot, accuracy now has that on 4-kill streak. And again, he's got 100 points for his team alone in the hard point.
Accuracy managed to be able to find the artillery barrage. The assist comes through as Theory picks up the double. And just when the game looked nail-bitingly close, TK start to edge away. And what's so important about that, whilst Accuracy was holding that hill and slaying out FaZe Clan, his teammates able...
Hard point here, they've got to basically throw this map away. It's going to be huge. Attached to find one. Priester finds another, and look at this. Streaks, he's going to find himself some...
Doesn't get that kill with a glide bomb. That rotation could be completely different. Back on board with Priester, finds one. That's Theory. And FaZe doing such a good job of slaying TK out. They can't get close to the hill.
Wave of kills. Priester is going to be taken down. Kenny's going to drop down, but we're going to see replays find 2. Zuma find the 3rd. It's down to Kenny.
No.
Kenny versus Attach fight.
Oh!
But Kenny ripped 10 seconds.
How is Kenny right
down?
Don't fight. Replay is for Kenny. It rests in your hands, my friend. He drops as well. 7 17 seconds left. The hardpoint contested. Theory doesn't want to take the fight. 2 players from FaZe still in the hill. This could be rotation.
Look at Zuma. Look at Zuma. Zuma's coming from behind. Talk about the flank. He's going to find one. Zuma finds another. It's all down to the 1v1s. There's still 3 seconds left. Oh! He's denied!
In map 2 on St. Marie S&D, TK strike back to even the series map count. FaZe come out hot in round 1 but started to struggle, losing the next 4 in a row. They couldn't turn the game around in their favor, losing the map 6-4.
FaZe in a world of pain. They get the bomb down, but so that's what I'm thinking here. FaZe know he has a streak, and I mean, with that, replays may actually have to try and push this. Or not. Doesn't even need to be
B2, bomb is down, but the 16 seconds, Ben.
Map 3 is RS4 CTF. This is arguably both FaZe and TK's best CTF map, but as the saying Accuracy's Forest goes, it was Accuracy's Forest again. First out of the map saw TK completely outslay FaZe, but somehow the score is still 0-0. The second half saw TK gain streaks and take off versus FaZe, taking the map 3-0.
Zuma's gonna have a free kill. Accuracy actually reads the...
This is going to put Theory very close here. It's going to be 6-2-5. All streaks, a flag, and you know what? They're looking for another. All 4 down.
Honestly,
Backbone Crystal
is what's most impressive. Accuracy reading that one bell spawn, tremendous. You see Chino putting some pressure on, and this is what you want to see from Chino. Don't slow down at all, wins the gunfight, looks over towards Bell.
That's going to be from Chino again, and raining down fire. It's going to...
CTF, TK all day.
It really is. As the final 5 seconds comes in, there's going to be too many streaks to even use in the time frame left. But TK...
The final map was Gibraltar Hardpoint, TK's hardpoint pick, and a very tough map for FaZe to take to stay alive. At the start, it seemed like FaZe could possibly take the map, jumping out to a nice little lead. However, TK rolled back into the game, putting themselves up by over 70 points, and by the time FaZe started to make a comeback, it was around too late, and they couldn't mount the comeback, and TK would take the map 250-243 in another close game.
Too, and I love this play from Theory. Full priest, their accuracy, trying to get in and behind enemy lines.
Such a nuisance, Phil. Look at what he's doing. FaZe not actually able to find the hill time, and 3 players drop. There's 1 player left. Chino with a bayonet to the heart of Zuma. Attached though, manages to start a resurgence here from FaZe. 4.
They've still got 15 points.
Have to win though, Phil. They're just gunfights you have to win, and you know FaZe are losing them. You're not gonna...
He's gonna be the backup. 3 players all coming down. He could clean up. He's already tagged attached. Priest falls as well. That's gonna be 3. 2-4-3. However, TK, they're in control, Ben.
There's one final push for FaZe Clan. Zuma first to the party. Is he gonna be able to play spoiler here for TK? Can he still be a nuisance? Actually picks up a double. FaZe Clan, we'll see you.
The star of day 2 saw Rise Nation, Red Reserve, Envious, and FaZe Clan all starting losers bracket in danger of falling out of the tournament 7th and 8th. The first 2 matches of the day also triggered the first round of roster Mania. The first matchup of day 2 was FaZe Clan versus Envious. The team that lost would be the very first team dropping out of the tournament. Map 1 was London Dogs Hardpoint. To start the game, FaZe started out pretty well, being able to break most of Envy's setups and racking up a decent lead throughout the first rotation. However, after the first rotation, Envy started to step it up to lessen the FaZe lead and give themselves a chance to win the map, and end up taking it in dramatic fashion as they get the final take on Doc's Warehouse to win 250-249.
Great game right now, 21-21 on a 4-3. This is for streaks.
They're right into Crane. The nade's coming.
Pitch developing. You can see Zuma's gone all the way around towards that driveway. FaZe, they have to go fast, and Zuma wins that gunfight. That's so big out of him.
Hook, though, on the backside, trying to help inside is Classic. Running deep, you've got a 4-on-2 in the hard point. It's going to all be on Classic and Hook to get it done. Envy able to break. Envy now need 5 seconds. FaZe, can they do it? FaZe, the final ticks. The contest is there for a moment. Slasher wins. He's got to stay in. He's got to stay in. Another person there to trade. Envy still alive. 1 more second needed for FaZe. 1 more second. But Envy, they're storming in. FaZe is spawning out. FaZe is spawning out. Envy's gonna have it. No, there's one.
Map 2 is Arden's Forest S&D. This map started out with both teams trading offensive rounds, but FaZe finally found the footing and win the remaining 5 rounds to win the map 6-1 and tie up the series 1-1.
Wins one-on-one. Zuma looking yet, but he stays alive. He stays alive. He repeaks it. Got vision on at least 2 players here. Nice shots there to clean up Tim, and he gets down with his life. Pops up.
He's on this rotation.
This is done.
Zuma find one. Oh, not able to find the second.
Ooh.
Nice shots there, but now it's Slasher left in a 1 versus 1. Can he win it? No.
Replays.
Map 3 was Arden Forest CTF, FaZe's best CTF map, and they show it with a nice 4-1 win. The first half started with FaZe getting the first 3 caps on the board on the preferred side, At the start of the second round, both teams pulled the flag and set up a stalemate situation that takes up 3 minutes of the clock, and Envy ended up losing the situation, which took them completely out of the game. And then FaZe would go up 2-1 in the map count.
They don't want Envy to get any momentum early in this second half. They've got the flag in a deadly position, but look, they're able to get the touch for FaZe Clan as well, and he's off in the room.
Cut. Dive bomb in. Now they're going to go. You have replays and Zuma going. Zuma able to find another one. Can they get this return? There's just one player left. Replays finds one. It's Temp. Can he continue to clutch up? He's just pre-firing this, trying to find Zuma. Just back and forth. Well, Temp.
Mid-map, so he might have an opening. If Slasher wins this is the push. You've got Slasher hitting. Hoop, though, is going to end up dropping, so now Slasher's going to be by himself until Classic can help from mid.
Now the spawns are up as well. Slasher, though, finds another. Classic. Can he find it? Nope. See, spawns up. There we go. Great job by FaZe. Just find that last kill. And they have to go right now.
Nice gunfight win there for Hook. Collapsing on the back. Hook hits another. The final player is going to be your flag carrier. Can they drop them around the back? Not it.
He's left. Tempto, he's going to get caught out, and Zuma might have this return. Throws a nade. Slasher's in position, though, to trade it out.
To keep the stalemate going.
And again, you have a 3-0 lead, so even if there is a bit of a relay, like, well, there we go. It's a 4-0 lead now.
Map 4 is St. Marie hardpoint. FaZe starts out hot again, but Envy fought back, and from that point, the teams would take turns setting up, getting hills, where the game was practically tied until the end, where Envy won 250 to 234 with a break on Parking Lot Hill.
Nice shots right there from replays. He's 9-3 on a 4 spree. One more kill, and he'll get some streaks. Snaps onto that second player. That was disgusting. That's a talent that a guy like Replays has. Can he find those streaks? He is able to. Ooh. Down to Replays.
Here's this position you talk about where FaZe is going to be able to flood the front over and over again. Well, one does spawn really far out. That's going to be Zuma, so he may not get a whole lot of...
Well, he might get a nice Zuma flank.
Yeah.
They are down 27 points, but they have early control.
Yeah, last time, though, that early control evaporated very quickly. This wins another one-on-one, but they've got to get the hard point. Envy gets the break. Envy could push this to a game 5 with a hold here. Only 10 more points needed. FaZe trying to flood in from the B-bomb site. The flood's coming in, but they're still Hook at the hard point. Hook wins a big one-on-one. His teammates watching.
Now the final game was the London Docks S&D, which turned out to be FaZe's best S&D map. FaZe was pretty much doing whatever they wanted at the beginning of the map 5. Priesta won a couple of insane 2v1s, going up 3-0 in the round count. After 3 rounds going to Envy's favor, FaZe finally took back control and won 6-3. Directly after this match, Slasher announced free agency and initiated the first round of roster Mania.
2 players right now.
You gotta win this if you're Temp. You gotta yell. Oh my gosh. Is that there? Middle steps and Temp. He gets caught. Now it's on the Slasher. Slasher's in such a good spot, but Priest.
Classic has to clutch a 1v3. 1 in front.
Second match of day 2 was played between Rise and Red Reserve. Just weeks ago, Rise was considered the best team in the game, and many expected them to win Stage 1 playoffs. Now they are fighting for their tournament lives. Map 1 of this 5-game series was Valk Hardpoint that saw Rise jump out to a good lead to start it off at 85-10. Rise continued to dominate Map 1 despite Red making a small comeback after the first rotation. Rise won the map 250 to 135.
Should get worse. Technically it should. With the streaks and the way that Rise are playing, this is not good here. Team is taken down.
And just look how easy that is. You know, how good they've been all year long. To see them fall early and lose is insane as from him. Winning rotation gunfights, relieving pressure for his teammates inside the hill. And with that said, he has over a minute until time himself. So overall, a fantastic map 1 here from Rise Nation. It's just a moment of time.
Streaks have been used. It's desperate.
You know, following that through into game 2. Do you happen to remember what game 2?
Game 2 was St. Marie S&D. The beginning of the map was very back and forth with each team trading rounds up until round 11 where Red ended up taking map 2. Now I'm pretty sure this was the map that got Methods traded or kicked. Just saying.
Yeah, it's literally one-on-one. Smoke's going in. CJ finds the first. Traded out. Really going to find his first kill as he baits out Josh. Pick from Joe. There's the pick you need. And now Joe can just bide his time. God. Methods. That is disgusting.
But that is such an important play. Streaks come in for Joe, and
it's going to put Rise Nation in a great position. Looney staying alive. I'm not sure of the balls, but time ticks away. Is Methods in a position to get it? Is he there? He's 5-4.
Oh my God.
No way!
Oh yeah, hey!
Can't even challenge it. Oh my goodness, no! What? He's taken out!
Oh!
Surely no!
Map 3 was Arden Forest CTF, where Rise had a great opening break to start the map on the bad side with a cap, but that was countered quickly by Red. After the fast start of the half, things slowed down and the half ended up being 1-1 tie. The start of the second half saw Red get an opening flag cap on their first push, which was again almost instantly countered by Rise to tie the game again. Both teams trade flags again, and it went to overtime being tied 3-3. Rise was able to score first half of overtime in a little over a minute and was able to hold off Red to win map 3 and go up 2-1 in map count.
You're not going to see Mounted.
They're all gonna die. 1, 2, 3. They know where Josh is overextending in methods because Rise Nation now go 3-2 up.
I don't think... In fact, yes, they will get the flag here.
Josh was the player with the streak, right?
Yeah.
But he was also the first to push straight through Ruins, and this could be the first push. And more importantly, does TJ get his streaks from this? Game 3, CTF Arden Forest. More importantly, you now put yourself kind of in a great situation where you're match point now. You win the hard point, you win the series, and you send Red Reserve.
Map 4 was Arden's fourth hard point, which should have favored Rise, but Red had something to say about that. At the beginning, it looked as though Rise was going to have the run away with the map, jumping to a 250 to 170 point lead, until Red decided that they wanted to start yet another of many insane comebacks of the weekend, where they win on the last hill in rotation, 250 to 245 in the most epic fashion to push Game 5.
Smart plays though. You talk about Smed, Rise Nation. Have they won the gunfights? Have they done enough? Looney with a massive double. Can he reach the touching point of 250?
Well, the 2 kills coming from Red Reserve is 5 points away. However, Red regained control. Gunless, he's been patient here with the STG at the side, but he needs to pick up the kills. Red Reserve, it's a 1-point game, Ben. Joe, Josh, Looney backs it up with 2. Now the important gunfight.
Oh my God,
DJ,
249!
but no one's on the hill.
No one's on the hill, just dive for it. Rated pre-fight, in goes Joey, touches the hill.
Game 5 was London Dogs S&D. Red start the map looking very good, taking the first 4 rounds, and by the time Rise could get going, it was too late, and Red stole the map 6-1 in the series, as well as sending Rise home along with Envious at 7th and 8th.
Bear in mind how close the streaks is. He gets He's out.
Who is that? Who is that?
I'm not sure, but it's costing
Oh
Joe.
my God.
Triple kill for him, maybe. No, not gonna happen. Yeah, you can let him.
Yeah.
It's a 2v4. You're not worried. You don't want to give away your life unnecessarily.
I like what Zero did there. He backed off. He didn't challenge. And Zero, I'll give the credit to. That's a player which kept his composure there. May lose this one, but a trade should come in.
No.
Should. Maybe could. Jumping on in. That's the first. That's the trade. That's what they needed. And now all information has been given to Red Reserve. Rated gets destroyed off of the bomb. But it's the time. The time is not enough. It's simple. He has to get on the bomb. It's not going to...
To kick off winners bracket round 2, E United faced off against Luminosity, who would eventually top them in the map count of 3-1, sending E United to the losers bracket to face FaZe later that night. Map 1 was Gibraltar hardpoint. E United started out hot on their best hardpoint on the back of Arstees, with all of LG struggling a little to get kills. Despite making the map close, Luminosity didn't have what it took to take the map, and E United won Gibraltar hardpoint 250 to 197, only giving up the lead once and going up 1-0 map count.
The entire side of the map open for LG to have some presence.
Triggered pre-aim, E United ready to go.
And Slack may get streaks here with a bait and switch. It's so important. He falls. Silly gets another double, and he unites in, force LG to spawn out. And more importantly, they take...
Map 2 is London Dogs S&D. Started off very close. Neither team would give up more than 1 round lead. Eventually, John picked up some streaks off a couple of nice sniper shots that eventually give them enough utility, win the game 6-4, and tied the series map count.
Put pressure, they have LG completely pinned, they don't expect the flank, so it's basically on Silly. Here's that 1v2 that I talked about. John distracts, player comes to the left, Silly falls, so that might be making the best of a bad situation. He drops as well, and
Magic happened.
gotta hit the shots though.
Pressure's on John.
And more importantly, he's gonna get the plant here, so when we talk about streaks, it puts him an assist away from a fighter pilot, and he's gonna spot 2 players. I'm not sure if they know how important it is to kill him before the streaks, but it does in his life. Not gonna happen. Silly mid-cut makes it a 1v2.
It's out instantly. Goes for the re-challenge.
If you're Arstees, that flank has to come in relatively quickly because it's a 2v4 in favor of LG.
Yeah, in LG, they're not.
Map 3 was Arden's Forest CTF, and we really need another CTF map because we play this map all the time. Luminosity would strike first after a questionable opening break from E United. Then E United win a stalemate situation and rally another flag to go up 2-1. But LG pull off some late round heroics to get a flag in during extra time to tie it up 2-2. The second half was much slower than the first, however. LG end up clutching up, taking the CTF 3-2, making the most out of their one flag touch of the second half, going up 2-1 in the series.
Does he put himself in a position to maybe make a play on the flag carry? The flag might be returned here, and that is going to be a tied game. Arsenes
has the players from LG have to go. That flag's about to get capped, and looks like it's going to be put in. And I think they might have it, but they got to win the gunfights.
Oh, no stuns come out. No nades come out. Clay does win the gunfight. 12 seconds left. Bear that in mind. Can he buy his team time? That's a double for him. Silly down low. Cap up top. It's an unfavorable gunfight, but Slacks actually picks up the flag as well. And extra OT comes through, and LG.
Player on Bell's going to be pinching. That's going to be JCap. He's going to fall. John, though, picks up the huge 2 gunfights. Now they got the pinch. Slack gets 1. Arsenes has to be the hero. He's able to get 1, but that flag should be out.
LG left scrambling for what was almost a guaranteed flag, but JCap steps up. The man of the moment gets a double and gets the flag, runs it in. No one even close to the flag, and I feel like that was the most United thing that could have happened in the CTF.
The last map was London Docks Hardpoint. United started the game off hot, jumping out to an early 40-point lead. Throughout the rest of the map, LG slowly chipped away at the lead until they finally blew it open. At one point, the game was tied at 120-120, and LG ended up taking the map 250-151 and taking the series 3-1, knocking United losers and guaranteeing themselves top 3 in the tournament.
Towards another artillery, and you see the mortars on the flip side of things. They get the kills as well. The nades come in, but they got to win the moment. LG trying to push on through.
And honestly, 4 seconds left. This is big time. Gives you a little bit of a cushion as LG.
Yeah, he's just going to get traded out, but now we got maybe a little bit of contention going on. Casilli's going to pick up 2. It is a tie game to the 80-90 point deficit we see now. United trying to fight back, but now they got to get the statue. Slacks pushed up in barrels. They're getting spawn trapped on the statue hill. LG looking fantastic. Slack has gone on a tear as of recently. By the way, Octane has 45 kills, having an.
He had so many streaks as well. He was able to earn 242, 150. United there staying alive, but the question for how long as John pulls a fighter pilot out, that gets a triple kill. LG retake control of the hill, and with that, LG push on.
The second winners round 2 matchup was between Optic Gaming and Team Caliber. Optic would eventually edge out TK 3-0, but let's take a look at how they did so. Map 1 of the series was London Docks Hardpoint. Optic started out a little bit slow, but kept the game close despite being outslayed. After trading the lead back and forth several times, Optic finally starts to heat up and expands the lead to take the map 250-205. And I think I know where TK went wrong. Just look at this clip right before Optic blew open the lead.
Those guys just got left, and now they're going to collapse in. Water spawn for Team Caliber, and they're in trouble. Not able to get streaks either. His accuracy, barrel building falls apart. And a blessing there. 183. I swear, every hard didn't have a great first half from Formal. You didn't have a great first half from Krim, but they've turned it up here now.
Find one. Nice nade on the lights. He knows the player's going to push up. I would have loved to see him, but there's Krim. Krim finds 3. Optic. They should close it out on Main Street.
It should be done here. 3 seconds needed for Optic Gaming. Nobody from Team Caliber.
Map 2 was S&D on Arden's Forest. The S&D was back and forth all the way up to round 11, where all falls apart for TK, and Optic take game 2 6-5 and go up 2-0 in the series.
Can't finish him. They're going to push him out, though. The assist is there. Karma now another 1 versus 1, this time against Chino. Under 30 to play. Now it's on him to get this bomb planted. He spots him, not able to.
That wall sees Formal. Nice shots on a Formal. Now another 1v1, and Krim wins.
And he's so weak. Scump wants to push it. Scump wants to push it, and there's the kill.
The final CTF was on Flag Tower. After the close S&D, Optic took the early control of CTF, making TK play out of the back of the base for most of the first half, and Optic are ahead 2-0 at the end of the first half. The beginning of the second half saw TK finally get some map control and push up to get a flag cap. Ultimately, Optic retake map control and push the lead to 4-1. They take the series 3-0 to put themselves in the winner's bracket final, looking like the team to beat at the tournament.
There's still 2 players here. Krim 6 is going to get a touch. He's got some help with Karma. He's going to win the first gunfight himself. Karma's watching the cross right now. Karma also close to streaks. They're still hunting for the final couple of kills. Nice shots there from Krim. Krim close to streaks. Karma's got his streaks.
Base. Optic's in the lead 3-1. Yeah,
almost coming in.
He thought about it. Yeah, he's in.
Here we go.
The flag's out. There's 1 player left. That's Kenny. He's in position, but he's not going to expect Scump to be here. Here we get final against Luminosity.
Optic.
They lost to him in Atlanta. Did they lose to him in Birmingham? I believe they did.
Yeah, it was 3-0, then it was a 3-1.
They lost to him at Birmingham. So this is going to be the biggest test for Optic.
With both winners bracket games played, there are only 2 losers bracket matches left on day 2. The losers would go home, placing 5th and 6th. The first of the 2 losers bracket matches were FaZe versus E-United. In typical FaZe Clan fashion, the series gets pushed to a Game 5 where they clutch up, sending E-United home and putting themselves into the top 4. Game 1 was London Dogs' hardpoint. FaZe started off really hot, outslaying E-United on the way to a 160-point lead. By the time E-United woke up in the map, it was already over, and FaZe won the map 250 to 145.
Points here on Doc. Postini holds the nade, attached again, still working to those streaks. Zuma has streaks of his own. If you're an E-United fan, now is about the time you want to close your eyes, because this game isn't going to get better. It's only going to get worse. This is an ugly, ugly game.
It's a little bit skewed, but it's not going to change the fact that 225 points have been accumulated by FaZe Clan. No one on the hard point here. It's almost like they're teasing him and playing with him, and Zuma's playing with his food as he finds 3. Attach finds the 4th, and that will be that. 5 seconds is going to come in. Attach 37 and 18.
Map 2 is Arden Forest S&D. This was another Arden's Forest where the game starts out very close with both teams trading rounds. E-United eventually strung a couple rounds together and held the lead until the end of the game, winning the map 6-4.
Great, that's for sure, as Clay with the sniper turns to the right. That's Zuma that falls. Attach, your turn 1v2. Oh, ho, ho. Swing and a miss, Attach.
Double digits for Zuma, however,
because it's going to be the first time where a team potentially gets a bit of a cushion. 2-round cushion. It could be a 5-3 lead. His name, Priester for the 1.
Knock him out 2. Again, maybe 3 more kills and replays. I feel like I like this.
That's the problem in hand, though. This is the problem.
Oh.
He's all by himself. He needed a little bit of support. The cavalry to come through. Austin still.
Map 3 is Arden's Forest TTF, a map that FaZe have been playing excellent on during the rest of the Pro League, except for TK of course. But it's E-United that get the hot start on the less preferred side, putting in the first cap of the game. FaZe end up matching E-United's cap, but at the end of the first half, E-United still stood on top 2-1. E-United continued to build on the lead in the second half, going up 3-1. Near the end of the game, FaZe decided to make it interesting, but E-United ended up holding on and taking map number 3 to go up 2-1 in the series.
Ruined, if you will, and
because he got up there so quick, he forces the bell spawn and not the back bunker spawn. Now it's down to his teammates to pick it up. Streaks are in.
And E-United will go 2-0 up, and I love that. Give Prestini the...
At this given time. Attach. Oh, that's one you... I was going to say you need to win this. Maybe...
Is he going to be able to secure the deal? Yes.
This is where they need to start making the comeback. That's a beautiful start for Attach. If he finds another, that'd be great. But look at that. The mortar's actually been invested.
That's terrible.
Assault rifle in a perfect position. He's going to find one now. He can sit back, wait for the help. The glide bomb's all the help he needs. Will he dive it in? Yes, he will. I say dive it in. Return, of course.
Oh, no. No, he has to stay alive. Buy some time for his teammates. He drops. Flag potentially going to be pulled. Replace has it in hand.
One overextend. He's not got the help of his teammates. He's not got the help. Oh, my goodness.
Dead.
Grenade.
Oh, I bet they wish they had that fighter pilot roundabout now.
Fights. But anyway, forget about that. We've got 15 seconds, Ben. Let's think about the kills on hand. Silly, sad on the flag. That's just waiting to be killed.
This is going to be a flagpole. This is going to be a flagpole. Replays is just collapsing in. Clay has to go big. There's one. 4 seconds. Someone from FaZe has to touch the flag. Attach. He's not going to be able to get there.
Game 4 was a St. Marie hardpoint, which E-United looked great in earlier versus Rise Nation, but it was FaZe this time that jumped out to an early lead, with Priester going huge. After jumping out to a 100-point lead, FaZe put the game out of reach and finished the map 250 to 105.
Take him out. Interesting, Ben. And I like this from both teams. They're not investing in the streaks. They're thinking of parking lot.
It's all about this rotation. That's when you're going to see the first streak, simply because of the pressure Replays was able to put on the map for FaZe.
Like I said before, they've simply outslayed. Attach, positive 9. We've got Priester absolutely killing it as well. Zuma and Replays, everything. That they need. More streaks are available. Do not.
The final map was a Game 5 London Dogs S&D. After FaZe took the first 3 rounds, it seemed like everything fell apart as they dropped 4 rounds in a row with streaks to Silly and Clayster, until the infamous round 8, where E-United wasted every single one of their streaks and dropped a round that became the catalyst to the FaZe shutting down E-United and winning the map 6-4 and propelling themselves in the top 4 in the tournament while dropping E-United out at 5th and 6th place.
Set up a little bit of a pinch there. Luckily, Clay forces the fight. He recognizes what's going to happen, and Clay's so close to streak.
FaZe could do right now, stick on mountain and run it. Like for example, number 2, Zuma. Zuma's in and around. Now that means one play's completely taken off. So Zuma can get into a great position, much of like, let's just all put on mountain. Just him down. The glide bomb's coming in.
Play streaking. And FaZe make the heads up to say, what are you?
No. Oh,
What are
wait
you
there. He's
doing?
coming in from this.
No. Oh, no.
Two. Ah, you love it, Ben. You love it.
It's like, what? He's just going to be back here. He spots him. Oh.
I think Priest has spotted him anyway. But if the...
Bayonet charge to the left. Replays just...
The final game of day 2 was Team Caliber versus Red Reserve. We all know how deadly Red can be in the losers bracket, and they had just knocked out Rise in their previous match, but this time it was TK that prevailed, pulling themselves into another top 4 placing on the season. Map 1 was Hardpoint Gibraltar, which TK was a heavy favorite to take with their strong ARs and accuracy in Chino. As expected, TK came out looking great in Gibraltar, accumulating over a 100-point lead heading into the first rotation alone. They had a large enough lead that Red could never quite fight their way back into the game, and TK would take the map 1, 250 to 108.
I saw yesterday that he was doing really well against FaZe, especially when we get back to the top center hardpoint when rotating out of last third artillery. He's getting across bridge in
He had a great game number 1. Can he continue?
He is going off right now. 9 in a row, 10 in a row. Keep running into his path, guys. He's not missing. 18 and 6 for Theory. Theory keeps going. The streak's up to 14. He just saw him more. No, what a tear out of Theory.
Yeah, Chino's not missing. He's able to find.
They can close it out here with a blowout in game 1. Accuracy investing streaks, tries to thread the needle, gets one, can't hit the second.
Map 2 was S&D on Texas, a map that you would think might favor Zero and Red Reserve, but Theory and the rest of TK had other things to say about that. It took Red 3 rounds before they got their first kill, and I'm not saying their first round, I'm saying their first kill as a team, as Theory owned Zero with the sniper early on, eventually putting TK up 4 rounds before Red finally found the first round, but that wasn't until after Theory hit one of the dirtiest sniper shots of all time. TK ended up winning the map 6-2 on the backs of Theory and Accuracy going up 2-0, threatening to send Red home in a 3-0 defeat.
Counter in Theory in the back. Theory spotted him for a second. He's going to have to dive down, finds a PPSH to work with. Sniper bullets flying over his head right now. Gonna peek it, can't connect. Time.
The final map was Arden's Forest CTF, a mapping game where it seems to be one of TK's best. However, it didn't look too good for TK as Red gets a cap and streaks off their first opening break. TK instantly fight back, hitting the overextension to tie the game, and even put in 3 more caps before the first half even ends from the less preferred side. In the second half, TK's defense completely stonewalled Red as TK cruised to a 5-1 victory before Red put their controllers down in defeat. TK put themselves up with another date with FaZe Clan on Sunday, and Red got to go home with a 5th and 6th place finish.
And yeah, that glide bomb, I imagine that player came off a spot. Look at that decision making. They just go. Theory's pushed up. They got to find Josh. So do they see him in the back? Spawn protection should help that player. Flag is out. There's Kenny. 2 players left. He finds a third. There's just
suddenly Team Caliber in the lead here. There's going to be a touch here. Theory able to get it out.
That was a big play because you and I just...
Go back!
Yeah, we're here. They do spawn cabin. About to flag.
Theory won the one-on-one too. Theory won a one-on-one too.
Yep.
And that's going to be 4 caps in the half.
They beat him at Birmingham. Yes, it was a game 5, round 11, but they have a lot of confidence going up against that roster.
They beat him there. They beat him here.
Oh, yeah, they already won.
Yeah,
It'll be a rematch.
they played him Friday. So, yeah, that'll be our first rematch that we have. You've still got 2 players pushed up, though. Kenny and Theory working together to get this out. And there's a 5th cap for Team.
The first match of the championship Sunday was a rematch of Friday's matchup, FaZe versus TK, and this matchup did not disappoint, with FaZe pulling out a very close 3-0 to break the TK curse and cement themselves in the top 3. Map 1 was the London Docks hardpoint. TK came out swinging as they jumped to a 50 to 60 point lead in the hardpoint, until replays got the FaZe guys going by picking up some streaks. Once FaZe picked it up, they never gave the lead back to TK, and they stole the map 250 to 160.
Watch the cross. And again, this is where I need to see someone FaZe jump on that point. Get some points. You're doing it. Let's make use of it if you're FaZe Clan. For TK, though, keep this slaying up. You've got to keep going.
And that's where you would have loved to see Zuma stay alive in fire, right? He didn't.
All he needs is the kill. There's the first. There's the second. Can he find the third? He's got an STG in the back pocket. Not going to happen. But I think it's enough now. 240 and counting, Ben.
A very smart play from Attach as well, not to use the streaks instantly when he get them. He recognized they didn't have any fire control. He had to push and he had to get that cut.
Map 2 was Arden's Forest S&D. Like many other S&Ds of the tournament, this map started off very close with both teams trading rounds, keeping it close. Both teams traded rounds all the way up until round 11, where FaZe defense stonewalls TK's attack to go up 2-0 in the series.
instantly to trade, and the trades continue back and forth. There's one for a prime example. Thatch is going to challenge this. He has the pillar to his left for the support. The first blood comes through, and just like that, TK start to fall.
And this, Attach has done beautiful there, because that's a position for Attach where if he gets taken down, they probably lose this round.
So tough, and now it's just so important that TK win the defensive round. Theory with 2. Attach is going to be pushing up, but honestly, Theory might feel so confident to go for the challenge. Hit marker, so he knows at least one player is over towards you. It basically comes down to first blood.
Well, Attach, he's cool over there. And he's cool as a cucumber right up here. You find number 3, whatever Theory can do. So can Attach, but he doesn't need to. He's got the buddy of Zuma. And it's down to Chino, the 1v.
Map 3 was Flag Tower CTF, which turned out to have yet another epic ending to the map. TK came out hot again in the CTF, getting the first flagpole on the board. After the first cap, defense prevails and the first round ends 1-0 for TK. Going into the second half, it seemed like TK's map to lose with full streaks on Chino and the lead. Again in the second half, TK grabbed the first flag cap to push the lead to 2-0. After TK take that 2-0 lead, FaZe get them to throw away 2 streaks and grab 2 flagpoles to push the game to get overtime. In the first round of overtime, TK get the perfect break off and get a flag cap in a blazing 43 seconds.
Still in this somehow, because I have the ice.
No! Through, Kenny has to try and stay alive. Attach is hunting him down. Accuracy has to go big. Wins one, tie up the game. 2-2 with just a... It's going to reduce that 2-0 deficit, and Kenny, he's going to go straight for the flag. Turns around, snaps onto Reap. He already had him weak, and now TK looking to push through. Accuracy's watching the overextend on the right-hand side. He has to win another big 1v1. Attach keeps FaZe kind of alive so far.
Number 7, put it through the middle. It's Priest. The Priest gets taken down, and now it's all up to Dylan, a.k.a. Attach, and he's got everything on his back. He's found one.
And when it seems like there's no way FaZe can close out the map, this happens.
Because of all of that, Theory sits with a fighter and a glide bomb. All you need to do is defend for 30 seconds. That is it. The stun grenades come out. TK cannot turtle in their base, though.
Yeah, they've just stunned their whole team, which is a great thing for TK, but what isn't great is this. Now, he's going to take himself off the map, but I'm not against this. This glide bomb's good. He just can't get double team. He's trying to get inside. He's not going to get it. He's actually taking down his teammate. Priester will be denied. This is huge from Theory. The flag is away, though. Ben, Zuma has it. It's all up to Kenny. Kenny through the middle. There's one player. He's getting shot in the side. It's like a replay. But Zuma's taken down the middle. He's going to get transferred.
3 seconds.
The next matchup is the winners finals that put Optic up against Luminosity. Many believe that this could be the same matchup seen in grand finals later that day. Optic would end up beating LG 3-1 in this matchup, so let's jump in and see how they did so. Map 1 was a Gibraltar hardpoint. Optic jumped out to a pretty decent lead with Luminosity starting very slow throughout the first rotation of hills. Eventually, Luminosity started to hit their shots and link some hills together to get back into the game. Once LG brought themselves back in the lane, they pretty well controlled the map until the end, where they took map 1 250 to 202 with a pretty decent comeback, in all honesty.
That went the first time through.
Yeah.
No one was able to pick up much time at all.
But John just controlling this position. Didn't see that player jump off, but he's getting really set up here. And you can see how far Optic's spawning out when you have a guy in ladder and you have a guy in cape. Formal, he's under. Well,
Slack once again building towards streaks. Is this where he gets them? The answer. Spawning back into this one. Scump inside a closet. Slack again able to find him. He's 29 in 20 in nearly 2 minutes in the hard. Luminosity has need 5 more points. They're in the hard point. Optic Gaming trying to break in, but Slack still tacking on.
Map number 2 is London Dogs S&D. Both teams started out the map trading several defensive rounds. Both teams would keep it close until LG could put a couple of rounds together, go up 5-3. But it's Optic that would take 3 rounds in a row to take the map 6-5 in a round 11 and tie up the series 1-1.
If you're Optic, you should know you can get this planted. Sure, John knows he's weak, wants to trade out, but Formal's got his help. Formal.
Oh, Krim might get caught out. Oh no, he finds a great timing on a J-Cap.
Ooh! Krim comes out, able to get the first blood. Krim gets both yet again, both times with this. Karma, so close to streaks. Is he able to pick him up? He's peeking the edge. There's one right on the other side of the box. There it is. He's going to be able to get the streaks. Crim6 finds a pick as well. He's going to pull it right away. He might be able to get him as well. He hasn't been able to pick it up yet. There he finds the kill.
J-Cap. My buddy found Karma. 1v1.
1v1 Formal. Spots John. Spots John. Spots John. He's able to win it.
Map 3 was Flag Tower CTF. This game started out with both teams playing fantastic defense, but Optic was the team to strike first, with Krim getting streaks, which enabled them to build on their lead going into the second half 2-0. After one pull attempt by LG, Optic again took control of the map along with great defense and didn't give Luminosity any chances to score in the second half. And Optic take map number 3 2-1, 2-0, and go up 2-1 in the series.
One-on-one. First, Crim6 streaks for the payday.
Slackdo's still up. Slows it down just a little bit. Now JCap, but they run it towards JCap. Karma able to win it. Because if Karma loses that 1v1 versus John, they follow the glide bomb up. That's a great play. That'll slow down Luminosity. There's just one player left. That's Formal. They know where he is, but Formal wins that one-on-one. He finds his second as well. Can he find the third? Not able to, but he buys.
Incredible defense there. You got to think about it. I mean, if you get 3 kills from a fighter pilot, you think you're scoring from that position. But range shots there with the PPSH from Crim6 and the claps coming in. They're not going to turtle. They want to continue to flood the flag.
Slack's gonna pull. Yeah,
and on the other side,
gonna pull towards his teammates. Had good position to get a relay. They just have to get that return. And well, Scump finds John. JCap, the last player over here, he's gonna have some help. They have to hurry though. If that clock hits 0, I believe that's it. Unless they get a score on the board. And Optic Gaming, they're gonna win game number 3 and take this.
Map 4 is London Dogs Hardpoint. Optic come out hot in map number 4, accumulating an 80-point lead to start out. From that point on, LG grabbed a couple of good holds to make it a bit of a comeback, but at the end of the day, the hot start by Optic was too much to overcome, and Optic would take the map 250 to 185 and put themselves in the first grand final of the World War II season, while knocking LG down to losers final to play FaZe for a spot in the grand finals.
win it here. Karma pushing up the
Test, right? Look at that clock. 20 seconds. Yeah, they're just contesting in. Scump wins a gunfight, so does Crim. There's a trade.
There it is. And for the first time.
After the match is also when Scump hexes Optic in this video clip right here.
Honestly, doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, I think FaZe would be the easier match for us, just because I don't think there's any chance they beat us in 2 best-of-5s.
The losers finals was FaZe Clan versus Luminosity. For most of the World War II season, FaZe had LG's number, but I don't think many believed that FaZe could actually take LG out of the tournament, and it appeared that way after they dropped the first 2 matches to LG. But then the improbable happens as FaZe get the reverse sweep to secure a top 2 finish, FaZe's best of the season, while LG go home at 3rd place. Map 1 was London Dogs Hardpoint, a map that FaZe had some close matches on and that LG had looked good on. LG come out slow again, just like they did against Optic just 1 game ago, as FaZe start by going up by 60 points. However, as the game progressed, LG started to come to and fought back, erasing a bit of FaZe's lead with each hill as the team trade blows. The lead would eventually change after a good hold on B hill, and LG would come out onto the lead with a crazy ending to the map, 250 to 234, and go up 1-0 in the series.
Back Cap trade. Cap with the double.
One at least. One jump around. 5 seconds. Dylan's kicking it off as well. Now they're starting to get a little bit closer. The kill feed's already.
The opposite side. He's playing a corner. There's one. A double would be massive. Not going to happen.
Coming in for LG. It's all equals. And Replace finds the first. John's going to be able to find one. It is now under no control. It's equal. FaZe are going to jump on in it. Attach doesn't know where they're spawning, but now the communication coming in. Ben, this is going down to the wire.
And bear in mind, this is perfect. FaZe have done enough. They've taken the lead. The hard point can be contested. That's good for FaZe. 14 seconds left on the clock. He finally falls. Bear in mind, a fighter pilot has been earned. It all comes down to that rotation on the other side of the map. LG are going to have such a small lead that Attach has to use his streak. He has to deflect the pressure off the barrel building rotation because there's 10 seconds. They have to take this fight.
Yeah, I'm looking at Replays as well. 8 seconds and counting. Do they push out? Do they remain? This is where you think of LG. They can really send this home. 242 and counting. His clock stopped right now as LG. They're trying to find the 250. FaZe need to get in and contest, but they have to get the kills. This surely should be LG's.
You have to fight through. 5 seconds left. You've got to take the gunfights. John pre-firing. 2 seconds left. John wins a big one, and with that...
Map 2 was an S&D on Valk. After FaZe took the first round, LG pretty much completely took over. Even though FaZe picked up 2 rounds, the search was controlled by LG, and it seemed like FaZe's magic might have run out after going down to 0-2 in the map count.
The drop, can you find the pick?
Well, that's the thing as well. We've already seen Zuma be aggressive. Too aggressive, as that's the 3rd first blood here for Luminosity. And I believe Zuma
goes from that 3v2 and the way back down. Attach forces the 1v.
Being quiet, biding his time, and there you go. He's going to free-way. Here we go. Fast push. That's the peak, and that is just John. He's going to lie down. He knows he's weak, and he's got the backup of his teammate. The grenade will be great.
Of his teammate's life, bearing that in mind. However, Octane with the nade, JCap with a nade of his own. Now you have yourself a 2v2. Slack to Octane versus Priesta and Zuma. Zuma falls. Priesta for the 1v.
Map number 3 was Arden's Forest CTF, which is FaZe's best CTF map as long as they aren't playing TK, and they stepped it up in this game 3 to keep themselves alive. With their backs against the wall in danger of going home, FaZe came out in the first half and get the first score of the game on top of Priesta getting streaks, and then they also get a second cap that got attached streaks. Going into the second half, FaZe held LG to no caps and held on to their streaks to use in the second half to close out the game. To start the second half, FaZe get yet another cap to extend the lead, putting the game out of reach for LG despite their best efforts to get a cap on the board. FaZe win the map 4-1 to keep themselves in it at a 1-2 map count.
Perfect. Once again, from Flag's probably going to be pulled. The teammate tries to bait out, but the collapse comes through in the FaZe Clan base to counter instead, I feel.
Yeah, just set yourself up nice. Involved here for LG, so this should be a 4th flag here.
Oh!
That's I will say, beautiful shot. It's not going to change the outcome, because that flag will be put in for number 4. But that from Optic, it happens to the best teams in the world, and that's just a case of LG right now.
This definitely is. The final 4 seconds. Attach, of course, running another flag. I'm sure he'd love to.
Map number 4 is another must-win by FaZe on St. Marie Hardpoint. FaZe came out very flat to begin this must-win match, and it looked like it could turn ugly fast. But FaZe never gave up on the map and put themselves back into it by the second rotations by playing smarter and getting kills that they needed. FaZe would go on to get a full set of streaks on 2 different players, and that would be enough to put the game away at 250-228 and push the series to a Game 5.
Second things up, a glide bomb, a fighter pilot, a 7-kill streak. It could have been 8, but Priest has found a 5 as well. A combined kill streak. It's like they're battling for the MVP on the clock. Zuma, he's not done yet.
You expect to see a fighter pilot rain in from the sky.
And the good thing is Attach getting those kills so far pushed up that they can respawn in behind them, help them out.
Game 5, baby.
Map number 5 was London Docks S&D. FaZe come out swinging in the Game 5 with Priester starting out 8-0, bringing FaZe up to a 3-0 lead to start the game. After FaZe's hot start, LG fight back a bit, but in the end it was not enough, and FaZe would take the Game 5 with a score of 6-3, completing the reverse sweep, and sending LG home at 3rd place, also putting themselves in the first Grand Finals of World War II, alongside Optic Gaming, setting up the Grand Finals.
That's unfortunate. I'm just going to assume they're not.
No, they shouldn't be. That's so much intel now. You put this, and you know that the other 2 are at the...
No start from him. Screw it. Artillery the bomb. Why the hell not? The hit markers come through. There's 1. Replays finds the pick, and Priester, all you have to do here, pal, is stay alive for 3 seconds, and you've won the round.
You may as well start going for the next set of streak.
Bravo.
Just go round. Then his whole team combined. However, John is going to take down Replay Zuma. Answers back to Octane. John, okay, now making a case here. Priester, he's not stopping.
That is 3, yeah. And this is what makes John so scary on London Docks, because you never really know what you're going to get. Is it going to be Stevens 3v3? John could be in some trouble. Attach shuts him down mid-map, and there's going to be one more. He hears him, he challenges, and that's a double for it. It's going to hit the hottest flank of the year. There's 1, there's 2. The assist comes through. He knows the 3rd there. It doesn't matter.
The Grand Finals was FaZe versus Optic, the old rivalry from back in Advanced Warfare. There's no way FaZe could beat Optic in 2 best-of-5s, right? It just couldn't be done, except it was. And in one of the craziest Grand Finals in Call of Duty history. It wasn't just FaZe winning 2 best-of-5s that made this insane. It's how they won the 2 best-of-5s. The first map was London Docks Hardpoint. Optic came out swinging to start the first game, outslaying FaZe by a little. But FaZe was able to keep it relatively close, until Optic finally got a good lead near the end of the second rotation. With Optic up by over 60 points, it seemed like the map was done and over with, but FaZe had other plans. With Optic up about 240 to 175, Attach and Replays threw the game-saving nades that propelled them to the winning map in the epic fashion. Words cannot even describe the ending, so here you go.
That grenade doesn't connect and kill both players. It might end there, and Optic Gaming get the W, but you're still alive. There's still some breath in the lungs here for FaZe Clan. Over the 180 mark, but still trailing by 60. They've got to be flawless. FaZe has been so good in hardpoint, so good on this map. But is this too tall in order to hold with only 8 points needed for Optic Gaming? So far they're doing it, Joe.
They are in replays. He's going to get a solid flank here. He's going to find 1. He's going to find 2. He's got streaks as well.
Oh my God, this is happening. Here, there's only 20 seconds on the play clock as well. You got to think about the contest if that begins to happen. Top mid, cleared out. They're moving top to get the spawns for barrel building as well. The comeback dream alive and well for FaZe, but Crim6 wins a big one-on-one on the backside. But look at that spawn. They still spawn blue truck, so Crim should be picked off from behind in a matter of seconds here.
Yeah, and he's going to call this in because they just need 8 more seconds. He finds 2. There's 1 more player in that hill. He's able to find the 3rd. That's his teammate, though. And look how far Optic's out. FaZe, they're going to win this rotation.
FaZe can do this.
Yeah, they're going to be at about 230 points. Optic, one's going underground, one's going cold. This is a big gunfight. Zuma not able to win it. 2 players of Optic in the back.
Replays is going to need help here.
Low as well.
Replays is going to need help here. Replays gets a lot of tags, but not able to finish it. They can't allow much of a contest either with how low the play clock is. Another one from Crim6, but FaZe now in the lead. FaZe trying to make the plays. Is attached, tucked away in a corner. They only need 4 more seconds, but the contest is in from the front. They can win it. My God, they have to clear him out.
As you can see, FaZe made the comeback to win 250 to 242, and a little known fact is that Replays purposely killed Zuma with the fighter pilot so he could respawn next to the new hill instead of wasting time by running all the way across back map. Map 2 is London Dogs S&D, and Optic again came out hot, climbing to a 5-1 lead over FaZe. Again, just like map 1, it appeared that FaZe was out of the map, and there's no way they could come back. But Replays and company had a different plan. To keep the 5-1 comeback alive, Replays wins the first insane 1v3 by taking out 2 people off insane head glitches. Then FaZe was able to bring it to a round 11, but it appeared to be over, all for naught when everyone but Attach fell, leaving him in a 1v3. And this is when what will be one of the most iconic moments in Call of Duty history happens. Attach runs through his own artillery strike to shoot 2 people in the back and win the 1v1 on Crim to steal map number 2 from Optic and take the series lead to 2-0.
Zuma's going to drop, no streaks for him. Replay's going to call in the artillery on the backside. They're trying to survive it. They're able to get into the site. They're getting tagged up though. Scump with a kill. Priest with a kill. It's all on Attach now. The comeback seems to be dead. He runs through his own artillery. And now it's a 1 versus 1.
Yeah, but Crim knows where he's going. Crim has read this perfectly, but I think Attach saw him. Did Attach see him?
One-on-one. Oh my God. Crim's in the site. Attach tracking back. Crim goes low on him.
I think he might have saw him. Running around the Rosie.
Attached to the other side, 20 seconds on the clock. Crim's got to find the kill or get this planted. Oh my God, Crim's hitting mid-map. Attach comes back. Here's the gunfight. Attach is able to win it. Kill from it.
Map number 3 was London Dogs CTF. This map was a slaughter. There's not really much to say. Optic controlled the game all the way through, putting in 3 caps in the first half alone, while holding FaZe to only 1. The second half of the CTF was much like the first half, completely controlled by Optic. They would end up putting up another 2 caps to win the map 5-1 and keep themselves in the first series at a 1-2 map count.
Another Scump and Crim6. What can
60 seconds here, and that's got to be a huge cap for FaZe.
Yeah,
the way this was going.
Step. Top order step. He's on the base, one's weak. They pulled in the bear. They saw you. One behind you. Yeah, all good. We gotta play aggressive now. We're down 3.
I pressure the opposition.
Yeah, definitely so. You see Crim6 actually brought out a second STG as well. They're just trying to control the pace of the game.
Could have won this 3-0, but major FaZe have been beat and battered in this one. Joe, does a convincing win like this, at least for Optic's mentality, kind of erase those first 2 maps?
I think so. I mean, they're always going to think about it, especially if they lose this grand final, but...
Map number 4 was Hardpoint Arden's Forest. This game was very close until Optic got a full hold on Bunker in the first rotation. Once Optic got a good lead, they never let off the gas, pushing the lead upwards to 150 points. At this point, the game was far out of reach for FaZe, and Optic would take the map 250 to 116.
First couple of games in this series.
Karma, the flexing on FaZe Clan right now is to try and get near the hard point, but it doesn't appear to be in the cards. Optic devastating losses in game 1 and 2.
Map 5 of the first series was Arden Forest S&D. After jumping to a 2-0 lead, it appeared that FaZe might be out of the tournament again. But Zuma started to heat up and FaZe was able to tie up the round count and continue to trade rounds with Optic until they took their first lead in the search and were able to hold on, taking map 5 6-3, forcing a second best of 5.
Gets him weak, Zuma doing everything he can. There's one more that's going to be coming through ice. Another!
Well, Zuma's just going to run at him. Give him 30.
Oh! This time, no, he wins the one-on-one. Scump can't trade it out. This could be it. Nice shots there. Gets the assist. It's all on Scump now.
There are a couple of things that I would like to add before going into the second best of 5. I know that many people think that this should have been an Optic 4-0, but I honestly think that Optic lost the first hardpoint because they had in their minds that all they had to do was break once to 10 and they would win the game. So they pretty much thought they had them beaten before the game was even over, and FaZe just thought that they could still do it, and they did. And now I'm not going to say that Optic threw the game away, because they did. I just think that they took FaZe a little bit too lightly, and I feel like the same thing happened in the 1-5 comeback in Search. They probably had in their minds that they only needed 1 round, it was no big deal, and that actually cost them the series. Now on to the second best of 5. This though is the exact same maps, except FaZe decided to ban London Dogs CTF, instead letting Flag Tower go through, and FaZe banned Arden's Force Hardpoint. Map 1 was again London Dogs Hardpoint. This time around, FaZe didn't stumble out of the blocks like the first time they played this map. FaZe was able to grab the lead in the first rotation and held on to it for the rest of the map. They would take the first map pretty dominantly with a score of 250 to 155.
Before the damage is done from a Streaks perspective.
Yeah, engagement, but replays and attach. They're all here. They're on this hill. They're winning all of these gunfights. There's just one player left on the hill. Priest is able to find the second. Can he find the third with a pistol? No, not able to. Attach is there for the cleanup. And they're just trying to end it right here.
This might be it. The final
Game 2 is another London Dogs S&D. This time around, FaZe does not let Optic run away with a 5-round lead, and they keep the map very close. At certain points, both teams held 2-round leads, but neither team would give up a large lead. But it's Optic this time who win the round 11 to tie the series at 1-1.
Yeah, bomb. He might hit him with that grenade. Oh, this bomb planted.
Go through, right? The bomb's got to cross.
Wow! Laser beam from attach. Gonna be another 1v3. The call out comes into Formal. Nice shots. Is Formal and Krim able to combine to clean that up, and now they get the first 2 picks, 4-2 advantage, and Krim building towards streak. He's behind. He's behind. They're both in front. They're both in front. He can't finish the kill. No. Flank is on. First man dead. Second is Karma. He wants to challenge this. He's going to go ahead and reload before he goes.
That bomb, this is a tough spot, but if you want anyone there, it's Karma. He's going to find the first.
He gets. He's ready for it. 3 versus 3 now. Krim 6 is here. Can Scump win another one? There's not a lot of time to work with.
The timings he plays is... They're trying to push. Krim's able to find Priesta. This is the flank out. Karma finds another one. 1v2 for attach.
1v2 for attach. He wins the first one.
Map 4 is Flag Tower CTF. This match was much like the first CTF, completely controlled by Optic. It was very evident that FaZe did not practice Flag or Dog CTF enough. In the first half, Optic was able to hold FaZe to 1 capture as they put in 4 caps, as well as carrying a variety of streaks into the second half. FaZe was able to play better defense in the second half, but again, Optic's defense was too good and the damage was already done in the first half, and Optic would take map 4-1 and go 2-0 or 2-1 in the series.
Score and you get a touch on the other end. Never watch for FaZe.
It definitely was. 4-0 now off the base of Optic. Attaches.
They need to track down the flag. Replay is actually able to pick it up. He will get traded out though, so Karma still able to maybe make the plays. The return's going to come in. They got the touch. This may be a huge 3, but at least you get something on the...
LG wins map number 1. They have a solid chance at winning game 2. But Optic takes it, and then they take the CTF and go on to win game 4. And Optic's in striking distance now.
And really, this game seemed to be over in the opening 2 minutes.
Map number 4 was Valk Hardpoint, and this was a must-win for FaZe to stay in the series. This map started out very close with Formal and Replays, both starting out hot, trading blows back and forth. The map was pretty well tied all the way through the second set of rotations. However, FaZe ended up getting too many streaks for Optic to handle and would take the map 250 to 219 that ties the series up at 2-2 and push the second game 5.
It's really close to streaks. The charge comes in, he's able to win it. Streaks for him. Second gunfight goes to Replays. The world champ.
Going all the way around. He's going to find that kill on Zuma. Zuma's going to spawn out along with Priest. Now Replays has to worry about his front and his back. But he's on a 9 spree, 11 in health. So once again, Optic win operations bunker, but Zuma's able to hit the back.
Zuma wins 2 big ones there. First Formal. Karma drops as well. Last man here in bunker. That's the 3rd time they've been able to get very clean breaks.
Look, Karma
just stay down, Matt. Back school. One back school. One guy went in hill. Hold on, Ivory. Army. Yeah, I got you. He's weak in there. Back room. Yeah, he's weak. Yeah, they're spawning water back there. They're spawning back door.
He's there. You got
I got your front, Matt.
Fired me. In storage bunker, but he's in a sneaky spot, able to find 2. 20 seconds left to win this game. And they are pushed out so far. Optic have to go down the middle of the street. You can see where FaZe is. More streaks for Priesta.
Priesta and Zuma in attach. Just frying them right now. The subs pushing out every angle. More streaks for Priesta. 5 seconds needed for a game 5. Karma's in behind. Can Karma make the play? Karma gets 1. It's traded out. The second is there.
Map 5 was Arden's Forest again. An $80,000 search and destroy. Both teams would end up starting the map off by trading defensive rounds back and forth for 6 rounds until FaZe could win the first offensive round to finally give them a lead, which they would hold on to for the rest of the map, winning 6-3 and winning Stage 1's playoffs, as well as breaking the 1,000-day curse.
6 first one's gonna go his way. One more lines up, and Priesta making the play right now. Zuma comes on the cross. Suddenly Formal trapped in cave. Crim's waiting patiently, but he gets caught with unfortunate timing. Scump wants to trade it out. Scump's able to do it. 1 versus 1. Replays. They're pushing it out. Crim's gonna get pushed. Crim's gonna get pushed and pretty distracting. 2 players here on the A side. Now Priest to find position up top. Spot Scump for a moment. Formal's able to get the pick. It's a 2 versus 2. Priest, he's been the hero in this round for FaZe thus far. He finds another kill. It's Priest working on the ace to close this out. Scump's hitting through mid-map, doesn't have time to work with. And FaZe Clan for the first time since the Season 3 playoffs of Advanced Warfare in 2015.
After the Stage 1 playoffs, a small timeline opened up where teams can make changes as needed. This small window is known as Roster Mania. This year, there were 2 windows. The first one has already passed. Rosters had to be locked Wednesday before CWL Seattle. The second opened up after Seattle and will close on Friday, May 7th, or Monday, May 7th. We will touch on the second roster menu and the current speculation as of the time of recording the show later on in the show. But roster menu is kicked off by this tweet here and followed by all of these tweets. So roster menu was sparked by Slasher officially announcing he was a free agent just minutes after getting dropped out of the Stage 1 playoffs. Slasher dropped his entire squad that had been to the COD Champs Grand Finals 2 years in a row to create his own team just to leave it. Slasher not only created the team he wanted, but he pretty much gave up on them just 3 months into the game when he didn't sign a contract extension, pretty much guaranteeing himself access to unrestricted free agency when the time came. From here, Methodz was the next big name to hit free agency not too long after Slasher announced he was leaving Envy. This is why it came as no surprise when it was later announced that Slasher had joined Rise. Because why else would Rise release their best AR just days after Slasher left? It just made sense that Rise would be picking up Slasher. After these 2 moves, several other teams started letting other teams make deals for their players. These included EG letting go of Nameless and Enable, Complexity letting their entire roster explore other options, and Silly being released from United, and Theory and Chino being dropped from TK, along with a few other small names being released from other teams as well. This is when the pickup started happening. After the initial Slasher to Rise, TK picked up Methodz from Rise and Decimate from the old Era Eternity squad. Unilad swapped Moose for some lad named Alex. United grabbed Felony from Complexity. Complexity dumped its roster, keeping only Dashy and bringing in Ricky and Blast from Era/Reckless and FaZe Lightning Pandas. Complexity dug Sensor Martin from Lightning Pandas, taking Era's Pro League spot. EG picked up Silly from United and Assault from Echo Fox, and Echo Fox ended up picking up Temp from Envy, and Envy ended up with Chino and Decimate, and I think that's pretty much all of the changes that need to be talked about. But roster mania wasn't the only thing that changed during the time between Stage 1 and Seattle. On April 10th, Sledgehammer rolled out the single biggest game-changing update of Call of Duty history, changing the meta once again. These changes including giving everybody unlimited sprint, 3 attachments, and a special grenade along with an explosive. All of the divisions were also changed, making armor the new meta and making airborne shoot laser beams from the hip, causing another gentleman's agreement to take place. This, I believe, set up the teams that made changes to succeed in Seattle because they put in more practice in the new meta, and Seattle will be our next topic on the show. CWL Seattle was a much bigger event than the Stage 1's playoffs, and this show is primarily about the league itself, so we will run through this tournament much quicker than we did Stage 1 playoffs. Leading up to Seattle was the CWL Pro League relegation tournament, and that not only decided who was going to be playing in the Pro League for Season 2, but would also be the 4th team in each of the pools, so we will quickly run through the results of the relegation tournament before the CWL Seattle tournament. Round 1 of the tournament saw Mindfreak facing off against EGG Blue, freaking tongue twister. Epsilon played Tainted Minds, Vitality versus Nordic, and finally EG taking on GGA Orange. Mindfreak easily 3-0'd EZG Blue to put themselves 1 game away from qualifying. Tainted Minds ends up edging out Epsilon 3-2 to put themselves up against Mindfreak to qualify. Vitality easily 3-0 Nordic to put them 1 game away from qualifying on the bottom part of the winners bracket. And finally, EG won a hard-fought series 3-2 over EZGA Orange, to round out the lower winners bracket against Vitality. EZG Blue would face off against Epsilon in the first round losers bracket, and Nordic would take on GGA Orange in the other losers bracket game. Epsilon and GGA Orange both easily 3-0 their opponents to bring themselves 1 game away from qualifying for the Pro League. Winners round 2 of this mini tournament put Mindfreak up against Tainted Minds and Vitality up against EG. Mindfreak would end up winning a close series 3-2 against Tainted Minds, being the first to qualify for the league, and pairing Tainted Minds up against GGA Orange in the last round of the losers. EG was able to sweep Vitality 3-0, qualifying for the second league spot while putting Vitality up against Epsilon to fight for a spot. Epsilon was able to beat Vitality 3-1, taking the third league spot easily, and Tainted Minds was able to edge out GGE Orange in a 3-2 heartbreaking loss for Orange that ended up breaking the team up after Seattle. With Mindfreak, EG, Epsilon, Tainted Minds making the league, this would fill out the missing holes in pool play for groups in Seattle. The pools for CWL Seattle went as follows, and this is also in the order of their placement. So Pool A was Lightning Pandas from the open bracket, Echo Fox, FaZe Clan, Rise Nation, and Tainted Minds. Pool B was Envious, Ghost Gaming from the open bracket, Optic Gaming, Unilad, and Epsilon. Pool C was Enigma 6 from the open bracket, E United, Complexity, Mindfreak, Luminosity, and then finally Pool D was Team Caliber, Evil Geniuses, Red Reserve, Splice, and Easy G Blue from the open bracket. This pool play is really weird, and kind of where I got my theory of the new teams practice more than the old teams that didn't change, outside of like one team. So Pool A was the pool of death in my opinion. I initially thought that it would be a three-way race for the top two spots between FaZe, Echo Fox, and Rise, but Rise kind of came out extremely cold in pool play, putting them at the bottom of the list. FaZe couldn't close out a series 3-0 in a 3-0 fashion, and Echo Fox was playing well, but it was Lightning Pandas that came out hot, beating everyone but FaZe, causing a three-way tie that was ultimately won by Pandas from map count, and then Echo Fox was able to take second place because they had one less map loss than FaZe. Pool B was yet another shocker because coming into the tournament you would expect Optic and Envy to be the two clear favorites, but you would have guessed wrong. While Envy did steal first place, it was Ghost Gaming that took second place away from Optic, knocking them down to the losers bracket, and it didn't really come as a surprise to see Epsilon and Unilad also starting in losers. Pool C was another one of those pools where the open bracket team came in and took care of business. It seemed like the top two teams on this pool would most likely be LG coming in first and E United possibly second. But LG had a terrible pool play, falling all the way down to the last spot in their pool. Keep in mind that LG was another one of those teams that made no changes. Enigma 6 ended up coming out of the open bracket, beating up on everyone, being the second team to steal first place in their division and be the third open bracket team to make it into the winners bracket. To round this out, E United got second, which came as no surprise, with Complexity shocking people after beating LG, but falling down and taking only third. And Mindfreak would take fourth after a few close series. Pool D was the only somewhat normal pool in this tournament. It wasn't surprising that TK took the group. An argument can be made about Evil Geniuses getting second, but I think this was honestly a toss-up between Red, Splice, and EG. And EG just happened to take the edge in this one, with Red taking third, and Splice taking fourth, while EZG Blue was the last place in their pool. Winners round 1 consisted of Pandas versus E United, TK versus Ghost Gaming, Enigma 6 versus Echo Fox, and Envy versus EG, while the first 3 rounds of losers were stacked, with losers round 1 consisting of LG versus GGEA Orange, Epsilon versus Heretics, EGG Blue versus Cyclone, and Tainted Minds versus Nordic. But it didn't stop there, because waiting in the second round of losers was Splice, Rise Nation, Mindfreak, and Unilad. And to round it off, the teams waiting in losers round 3 consisted of Optic, Complexity, and FaZe, and Red. This losers bracket consists of number 1, 2, and 7 teams from the Stage 1 playoffs, which 3 of which made no team change and probably didn't practice enough before this event. Starting off with the winners round 1 matches, E United swept Pandas 3-0, knocking them down to the losers round 4. Ghost shocked TK with a 3-1 victory, putting TK into losers bracket early. E6 and Echo Fox played a very close series that's edged up by Echo Fox, knocking E6 into losers. And finally, EG sweep Envy 3-0, and I think this is when people start thinking that this new EG squad is more than just an online god squad from the week earlier in scrims. Now that we have gone all the way through winners round 1 and we have all the way through losers round 4 filled in, we can talk about what went down under, something like that. What went down? I don't know. Screw it. LG put an end to GGA Orange's tournament early with a 3-0 victory. Epsilon gets beat by the Spanish squad Heretics, and Cyclone get a win over EZG Blue. I can never freaking say this to advance. And Nordic swept Tainted Minds 3-0. Moving on to round 2. LG got put up against Splice, Heretics got paired with Rise, Cyclone got put up against Mindfreak, and Nordic had to play Unilad. Here, LG swept their opponent again 3-0, moving on to face Optic in round 3. Rise easily beat Heretics 3-0 to start their historic run, and are paired up against Complexity. In round 3, Cyclone pulled through with a 3-1 victory over Mindfreak to put themselves up against FaZe, and finally Unilad beat Nordic in a 3-0 sweep to advance and take on Red Reserve. Round 3 of losers was the last set of matches played on Saturday night. Optic had to play LG and got smoked 3-0, possibly ending the dynasty. Newsflash, it did. I wrote this before we knew. More on that later. There's no more. Yeah, there is more on it later. Rise continued their reign of terror, giving Complexity the swift 3-0 sweep, sending them home early. FaZe and Cyclone had a very close match, and FaZe was able to pull out the Game 5 victory for a 3-2 win. And finally, Red Reserve took care of business versus Unilad, sending them packing with a 3-1 defeat, and this sets up Championship Sunday. Championship Sunday started off in Losers Round 4, where E6 faced off against LG, Envy had to play Rise, TK and FaZe faced off, and Pandas had to take on Red Reserve. LG continued their run, running right through E6 with another 3-0 victory. Rise also continued their run with a 3-2 victory over Envy. TK would advance after winning 2 close maps and destroying FaZe in the CTF 3-0, and Red would go on to edge out Pandas 3-2. Losers Round 5 could have been replaced with the Winners Semifinals and actually would have made more sense than the actual Winners Semifinals. Round 5 saw LG face off against Rise and TK face off against Red. Rise would beat LG in a 3-2 series, and they would have to wait to play the loser of E-United and Ghost Gaming. While TK was able to edge out Red in a 3-2 victory, they would have to wait to play the loser of Echo Fox versus Evil Geniuses. Winners semifinals saw E-United clash with Ghost Gaming and EG play Echo Fox. Well, these games would end up being anticlimactic, and E-United would sweep Ghost 3-0 and EG would take care of business 3-1, making losers round 6 matchups Rise versus Ghost Gaming and Echo Fox versus TK. At this point, Rise has the hot hand, has had enough time and practice with the new meta that they 3-0 Ghost and would advance to the losers round 7, while Echo Fox got a close 3-2 series win over TK to put themselves up against Rise. But yet again, it's Rise that take care of business and take out Echo Fox 3-1, getting revenge from pool play and putting themselves in the losers finals. Winners finals was E-United versus EG, and it was yet again another quick series. EG put away E-United 3-0, knocking them down to play against the boogeyman that was Rise Nation. Rise Nation yet again show no mercy and 3-0 E-United to advance to the Grand Finals to play against Patty Aches and crew. But yet again, Rise would make quick work of the Series 1 winning 3-1 and quick work of Series 2 winning 3-0. This is Rise's second tournament of the year, and I think this officially cements them as the best team in World War II. Welcome to the new age of Call of Duty esports, everybody. It was made official on Sunday, May 5th. That the long-standing Optic gaming roster had finally made a change after 3.5 years, 18 championships and 1 COD champs. But Optic was not the only team to make a roster change, nor were they the first. The first team to change was Splice, when they announced that they were dropping Tommy. At the point of recording this episode, there is no official announcement on their fourth, even though roster lock has passed and Stage 2 is in less than a week. However, Tommy moved on to the Vitality Squad replacing Malls, while they also dropped Moose and Marky for Petey and Quicker. The next team to make an official announcement was also a European team. Red Reserve announced that they were going to be dropping Josh for the up-and-coming superstar from Unilad, Scraps. This also led to the highlight of roster Mania when Scraps and his brother Wuskin faced off on Twitter with hilarious videos. I'll try to get them on screen, I don't know if I can. It is unclear what the future holds for either Unilad or Josh at this time. It wasn't until the day or two before roster lock that the new teams that everyone was expecting finally dropped. First it was Luminosity sending out a tweet that had officially traded Octane for Formal. Then on Optic's documentary series Vision, they finally announced that they picked up Octane and Methods to round out their new look squad. The final team to announce the roster changes was TK. Late Monday night, they officially announced that Enable had joined to replace the hole that Methods had left. This leads me into the thoughts of all these changes. After much speculation and some supposed leaks, it was expected that Optic were going to make some changes. It was also rumored for sure that Optic were targeting John from LG and Zuma from FaZe, and Methods was apparently an attempt to trade for Zuma. There were also unconfirmed rumors of Optic trying to go after Kenny from TK. Karma later said that there is an offer from FaZe for a trade of Zuma for Karma, but Karma refused, only wanting to join FaZe in place of Replays. In the end, FaZe, LG, and TK all ponied up the cash to keep their star players, leaving Optic with 2 main ARs on the squad. Depending on how the meta shifts, I'm going to make a bold prediction that Optic did not get any better, and they won't win an open event this year, nor will they win champs. I can see them being a top 4 team, however. I think that the Octane for Formal is a pretty straight cross trade. You won't get the flashy plays, but Optic is getting a player that will hold a consistent 1.2 KD against most teams. Methods is a great player, but with this playstyle, I can see where this can lead to some pacing issues, and he might not be able to keep up with the rest of the crew. I think he's lucky he got to stay on the squad and not get bounced around as some trade piece. But I also see him getting moved around at the end of the year for Optic to finally pick up the third sub or flex player that would currently cement this as a new dynasty squad. My thoughts on the LG trade are that I think that they stay about the same. I see them being a top 3 team for the rest of the year, and I think that with the new fire from Formal, who knows how far they could go. But like I said earlier about the Formal Octane trade, I see this as a pretty straight across trade, and the only difference is that Formal will be fired up and ready to beat down Optic anytime he has a chance. I don't have much to say about the new TK roster changes other than that if the rumors are true and they got the most screwed over out of any team. I wasn't sure what they were going to do about Methods leaving. I thought maybe bring back Theory, but in the end, they would pick up Enable. I haven't seen much of Enable this year, but I'm sure he's not as good as Methods, so I'd say this is probably going to be a downgrade, and they probably won't be as good this year. And they saved the best change for last. I think that Red picking up Scraps is probably the best thing that could have gone down. Scraps was constantly going toe-to-toe against the best players in the world without a good supporting cast. Now he's on a team where he can just be let loose. I think that Red's going to be scary, at least it looks like that on paper. Let's see if they can pull us all together. Now to end our topic on roster Mania, let's take a moment to acknowledge 2 amazing players who were left teamless and decided to retire at least for the rest of the year. The first player being Nameless. He's been a solid player since Call of Duty 4, picking up several championships across multiple games, with the highlight of his career probably being second place in the 2014 Call of Duty Championships. And of course, we have to pay respect to Mr. 3 Rings himself. The only player to win 3 Call of Duty champs, Karma. Even though he has the greatest achievements of all time with over 20 championships across multiple titles, on top of his 3 rings, Karma was left teamless and decided to retire. Karma reportedly had multiple offers, but he didn't enjoy the game enough to go through with any of them, and I wish Karma and Nameless the best of luck. The final segment of the first show is dedicated to my prediction to the first week of Stage 2. Every show is going to have this segment, and once the league gets going this week, I will be keeping track of every player from every team's stats on a document that I can share with you guys if you would like to see it. Before going into my predictions for Week 1, I'm going to give you a broad prediction of Season 2. Before all of the team changes had officially gone through, I was thinking that Division A was probably going to be a complete bloodbath, and 6 to 7 of the 8 teams could make it through the playoffs. I think that after the TK and Red Reserve change, it might be a little bit easier to call now. In my opinion, I think that the top 4 teams coming out of Division B in no order will be FaZe, Red Reserve, Envy, and Echo Fox. I think that the number 4 spot in this group is the hardest to call. I could see Evil Geniuses fighting for that spot as well, maybe TK, but I'm not sold yet on EG after Seattle, and TK has been on the decline, so that's why I would go with Echo Fox over those 2 teams. I would definitely see Red taking this division after the recent changes, but I definitely think it'll be a dogfight for the top 3 between Red, Envy, and FaZe. The 2 teams I see at the bottom of this division are Epsilon and Splice. I don't think that Epsilon even won a series at Seattle, and considering Splice hasn't even announced an official 4th after not landing Scraps, it's hard to say that they will be pushing for top 6. So my final prediction is Red, FaZe, Envy, top 3, Epsilon and Splice, bottom 2, and the rest of the teams fighting for the number 4 seed. Group B has a more clear-cut top 4 for me. I actually go out on a limb and go ahead and say that Rise will win this group flat out. Then I can see Optic and LG fighting for the 2nd spot, while E United will end at the 4th seed. Again, I think that the top 3 is pretty much set with Rise, Optic, and LG. I think that maybe a Complexity or Mindfreak can fight for that number 4 spot as well. I think it's also pretty easy to tell that the bottom 2 are going to be Tainted Minds. They also didn't win a series at Seattle like Epsilon. And after the Unilad team change, they're pretty much an AM team, I feel like, without Scraps. My final prediction for this group is going to be pretty clear-cut, and I see Rise, LG, Optic, and United moving on to Season 2 playoffs. Now on to my match-by-match predictions for Week 1 of Season 2. I know that the show has already gone on long enough, so I'm going to try to make this part quick. The remainder of my shows will not be this long. This Week 1 schedule looks like this. Tuesday, we have Rise versus Epsilon, Splice versus TK, Evil Geniuses versus Echo Fox, Envy versus FaZe, and TK versus Echo Fox. On Wednesday, Envy versus Epsilon, Evil Geniuses versus Splice, TK versus Red, and Splice versus Echo Fox, along with FaZe versus Evil Geniuses. And then finally on Thursday, we have TK versus FaZe, Epsilon versus Echo Fox, Red versus Splice, Envy versus Evil Geniuses. Now let's get into the prediction. For Tuesday's matches, I see Rise taking on Epsilon. I don't think there'll be much of a disagreement with that pick, in all honesty. Splice versus TK could be an interesting matchup, and it would mainly depend on who Splice's fourth is, but I'm sticking to my earlier prediction that Splice will be at the bottom 2 team and take TK on this one. Evil Geniuses versus Echo Fox, I think we'll start to see the EG's true colors and that they're just a very average team. I think that Echo Fox will take this matchup. I think that FaZe will take the next matchup against Envy, mainly because I need to stick to my prediction that FaZe will be a top 3 team, but I think it'll be a close one, and it actually could go either way. In the final match of Tuesday, TK versus Echo Fox, I have Echo Fox taking it because they seem like they're the better team at this point anyway. Moving on to Wednesday's matchup, first we have Envy versus Epsilon. Sorry Epsilon, but I have to take Envy in this one. The next matchup, EG versus Splice, I have to take EG of course. I have a feeling TK versus Red probably won't be close with the new Red roster, and Red will take that matchup. Splice plays Echo Fox in the 4th matchup, and again, I think they lose to Echo Fox. The final matchup of the day is FaZe versus EG. I think that FaZe lose this because EG are warmed up from the previous match, and FaZe play down to their opponents a lot of the time. Finally, Thursday matches start with FaZe versus TK. This is a hard pick because I know that TK got worse, but then there's also the TK curse on FaZe. But I think FaZe will prevail, taking the first series of the day. Next, I think Echo Fox will beat Epsilon pretty easily. The third of the match of the day is Red versus Splice. I think that Red win. This has a Red win written all over it. And finally, we have Envy versus EG, where I think Envy pull out the win. If this prediction comes true, we will have Echo Fox leading in Week 1 with a 4-0 lead, followed by Red at 3-0, then FaZe and Envy at 2-1 to round out the top 4. Number 5 would be EG at 2-2, then TK at 1-3. Epsilon at 0-3, and Epsilon at the bottom at 0-4. Keep in mind, these are just my predictions, and they could be totally wrong, and probably will be wrong. With all of that being said, that is going to wrap up the show number 1. I know it is a longer one because we had a lot to cover this time around. The following show should all be formatted very similar, with chats about how each team performed, some stat talk, seeing how my predictions held up, plus predictions for the next week. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you know every time that I upload, and leave a comment letting me know what you guys think of the show and some suggestions. This has been Ethan, guys, and I will see you next time. Peace out.